I stopped chasing, but I'm just trusting. For the entire time, I was always like chasing money, chasing fame, chasing followers, chasing what? Job, chasing, everything I desire. It's not like I still have these desires and I still want a lot of things, material things. I still have these goals to achieve, but I stopped it. I stopped caring about it. I don't know why. I had this realization or maybe deep trust within myself. I don't know. These things will come eventually. I have these goals, I have these dreams to achieve for a reason, to make come true for a reason. And that means it's meant for me, maybe it's not. But what's meant for me, what's fated for me cannot miss me. So they will come eventually, no matter, I don't know how long it's gonna take. I don't know how it's gonna be unfold. I'm not sure, but I know for a fact it is coming and it will catch up with me eventually. So I just stopped chasing and I'm trusting. It's kind of like surrendering. Surrendering is kind of like, it might sound negative or kind of like pessimistic to someone, but it's actually not. Surrendering is trusting. It is believing in the universe, source, God, whatever you want to call it. Chasing is it was draining for me. I was always thinking about like when it's coming, how it's gonna work out, how it's gonna happen, like how, when. And maybe tomorrow, maybe next year, maybe 3 months later, and after 3 months and it's still not here, then I will get like upset. Why is still not here? Why is it taking so long? Why I am not getting it? How is it gonna work out? How it will be here in my life? Like these questioning myself about these goals or dreams, when it's coming, how it's gonna work out. It's so draining. Maybe I'm just trying to save my energy because it's limited and it's so important, it's precious. So I am cherishing my energy, saving my energy. That's one of the ways to do it, I guess. I don't know, maybe. I think so. Yeah. When I talk, it's kind of like at the same time I'm organizing my thoughts and my brain and my mind. So sometimes I have new realizations by talking about things. And that's also why. So maybe I am saving energy. I'm cherishing my energy. Surrendering is trusting. I truly believe so. Because I was a really, really big control freak. So I've always wanted to control how things gonna work out, what's gonna happen in my life, how it's gonna happen, and when it's gonna happen. That's like these things. I wanted to control everything, like all of it. What happens, like external things. But I am not God. I don't have superpower, and I am not controlling this world. I am not conquering this world. So I don't know. I can't do it. That's impossible, right? And that's not my job. That's not my job here. So, and it's impossible. But I've always wanted to do it, and I'm always like spending my precious time and energy for that, thinking about it, how to do it, when it happens, what's gonna happen, and all that. But I was spending my precious time and energy for nothing because I can't do it. I cannot. But that's what I used to do it. So, and it happened for a reason, and that is why I get to learn this lesson. So I don't blame I don't believe myself, and it happened for a reason. So I am thankful for that version of myself. But but whatever. Anyway, I actually learned. Maybe I've been talking about this in few recent videos. But I am in a butterfly. Okay, so like this sacred pause of my life. Everything's stationary. Everything is gloomy. Not gloomy. Everything is stationary. Like this stillness, and I think I am in between phase, like my old reality and my new reality, and I am tapping into new reality, but I'm still in this like stillness, and I am existing in this stillness, like sacred pause in my life. That's what I call it. But since everything's stationary, like I said, it seems like nothing is working out for me on the surface level. And when I was chasing, because I have goals to achieve, I have dreams to come true, so I was always rushing, and I was always questioning, when is it gonna happen? When? And what's gonna happen next? What? And how it's gonna happen? How? And I was like consumed by these like thoughts, these like questions, but things not gonna work out. Things not gonna work out in my timeline. I want it to work. Like when I want it to work, right? Like, does that make sense? Like I wanted to like have this right now, and 3 months later I have this, and 1 year later and I want this and that. But in reality, it's not gonna happen like that. Sometimes it will, but sometimes not. So it is happening for a reason. So now that I learned to trust or believe in the divine timing, but like I said, I was a big control freak, so I was trying to control it, and I was chasing it. But now I learned to go with the flow. Everything happens for a reason, and so clearly this is happening for a reason. And now that I think about it, if it weren't for this sacred pause in my life, I wouldn't even have learned lessons, or have these thoughts, or like valuable lessons I've learned from this sacred pause of my life. Does that make sense? Did that make sense? So it is literally happened for me. It has happened me for a reason. So that's why I am kind of like, I realized the fact that everything is literally happening for a reason. So I was like, oh, okay, what's meant for me cannot miss me. And I am trusting the divine timing, and I cannot control what's gonna happen and when it happens and how it happens. Like external things, that's what I cannot control, and what I am not supposed to control, then I will just surrender and just go with the flow and see what happens. And that's what I've been doing lately, or recently, since last couple months. And I'm still in the process. I'm still in that sacred pause, so everything feels stationary, but I know for a fact I can feel something big is around the corner. And state of chasing was kind of like I said, it's exhausting, tiring, because I am always constantly thinking about when it happens, what happens next, and how it's gonna happen. And when things are not working out like expected, then I will start questioning myself. Why is this not happening? Why it's not here? Why? And maybe I was just I'm just done. I am just done chasing. What's meant for me cannot miss me. It's not like I don't have anything I want. No, I still have desires. I still have goals. I still have dreams. But I know for a fact it's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. Does that make sense? I am trusting. I am surrendering. Yeah, it enabled me to spare that precious energy I was wasting on chasing, but instead I can use it to like really truly purposeful aligned things, because now I am not chasing it, and it scares me sometimes. I still doubt it, doubt myself. Am I doing things right, or is it really gonna happen? You know, since it's taking a lot longer than I thought, I am sometimes like start questioning, but it is okay. It is what it is, and it's happening for a reason, and everything happens for a reason, and I am trusting that. I am trusting the divine, the universe, my spiritual teams who are always there to support me, guide me, help me. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I stopped chasing, and I'm just trusting, and it's so much burdens on my shoulders like lessen, and I kind of like let it go. So my life is lighter, enjoyable, fun, and so flowing again, because I was constantly going against the flow, and I was, you know, it's kind of like I got this image in my head. It was kind of like river, and like going like river, water is flowing, but what I used to do is to like swimming against the flow, you know, like water is flowing like this way, but I am going against it, like swimming, trying to like you know, like trying so hard to control everything, go against the flow, like swimming. But you know, but now I am just floating, and I'm just like floating and going with the flow, embracing myself, embracing the time. I'm just chilling, and you know, I will see where it's gonna take me to. And yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I don't know how things are gonna work out, and I am not. So many things are uncertain, so it kind of sometimes scares me, but it's okay. I will just go with the flow. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Yeah, trusting, surrendering is trusting, and I am stopped chasing, but I am just trusting now. So I'm surrendering and going with the flow, and it's so effortless. So like, yeah. So thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have wonderful, awesome weekends, days, morning, night, whenever you're watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.